We're in it, bussin' with Justin, let's go! Hey y'all, this is Justin Wren. I am so excited and grateful to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Bussin' with Justin. I'm about to give you a walk around and walk through of this beast, the king of the road, this 1999 vintage Prevost, which is a bus conversion that's built to go at least 1 million miles. But first I wanna welcome you, say I am Justin Wren, former national champion wrestler, MMA fighter, UFC veteran, fighter turned humanitarian. And so last year I was able to give 50 keynote speeches as a professional speaker, and that's why I got this bus. I geek out about this stuff, so we're gonna learn the ins and outs because this is my first rodeo. I'm a little bit of a bus nut and have had this dream since I was 16 years old. And the reason I needed this was because I needed a need to get it finally. And I'm a keynote speaker professionally. And so I spoke 50 times last year to over 100,000 people, or about 100,000 people. And so I get to take an inspirational keynote message all around the country and the globe. And hopefully this year, we'll take this bad boy to 10, 15, maybe even 20 events. I wanna take you on that road trip and see behind the scenes and go on the journey with me. So this Prevost is called an X-model. They have one that is stainless steel and they have another one that's fiberglass. It's all 100% steel monocoque construction. What I love is this is the old vintage logo. Because it's all steel, it feels like a vault, like a bank vault. It sounds like it too. It's heavy, it's durable, and all the bays are pretty much the same way too. You open the handle, you pick it up and close it, and then you lock it in. And it's just got this cool feeling as you're driving this big behemoth or mammoth on the road. It's been hard to learn at some points. I'm gonna share that with you too, the challenges, but also a lot of the fun with it. Right down here, it's kind of neat. Behind me is the entertainment bay from 1999. It's got the original refrigerator and it still gets really cold. It needs some cleaning. We just got this about 6 weeks ago. We haven't used it. We just got an upgraded new Samsung TV. But just people's ingenuity and innovation, I mean, you think this is just all it is. But if you keep pulling it out, it actually becomes a table. We've got some chairs in there, some outdoor chairs that are red that match. And I could put a little grill right here or a little skillet, or we could have a picnic. What I love about this Prevost is it's built for either entertainer coaches or seated coaches, which means they have at least something like 56 passengers. So this is one of the safest things on the road. You could almost compare it to aviation, and there's safety standards. It's got basically a roll bar that a race car has all throughout it, so that if this tips over, it doesn't just wall to wall collapse in on itself. It's gonna stay sturdy and it's not gonna collapse. And so I love it. As we keep going down, the generator's on, you might hear that, but this is the AquaHot. And the AquaHot is the hot water underneath the chassis, keeping everything warm if it's cold outside, but it's also the instant hot for the shower, the sink, anything we need hot water for on the bus. And this is an industrial commercial grade generator that's really used for like offshore rigs, or it's used for big boats and yachts and those kind of things. As we get to the back of the bus, you'll hear the generator exhaust a little bit because we have all the power on inside to take you in for a tour. But this is the big beastly engine. I mean, compare it to my fist, my arm. It's just a massive thing that's made to carry lots and lots of weight with 56 passengers on it. And to me, it's just old school cool. They call this engine the Detroit 60. They call it bulletproof. And so it's one of the kings of the road that's been iconic, that's been taking, whether it's truckers or Greyhound buses down the road, and musicians, touring musicians who can't risk being down on the side of the road. These things are meant to be used. They're not meant to just be used for vacation. They're meant to be on the road all the time. And so that's what's pretty neat about its dependability, its reliability, that it's just strong and meant to be used more than it sits. All right, we're inside the bus, and at first look, what blew me away was that this is all original from 1999. The original leather on the couches and the upholstery, and even these wild old school valances. And really, we don't need to change much, except maybe these valances, except maybe the upholstery on the couch. The only two updates in here are the residential refrigerator. They swapped that out, and then the microwave convection air fryer. And when I'm looking at this, I mean, it's pretty wild how well it's held up. I mean, it's kind of, this part's not timeless, but the rest of it I think is. And that eagle back there has kind of inspired us that if we change out this upholstery and the valances, what would it be? Maybe it's a outlaw cowboy rock and roll vibe. And if you could have seen me on New Year's Eve, right before we watched the ball drop, when we signed the papers, got the keys, I was literally doing a happy dance all up and down the bus. We can comfortably fit 4 people on the couches or 6 people, plus some people in the booth. This swivels around if we want it to and have a little living space. But again, you just take the switch, you'll hear the motor come on. And here's another big bus passing us in the parking lot, which is kind of cool. Right back here, he's swinging around. But this is for movie night. We can lay right here, watch whatever's on, and whenever you're ready to come up, you just, again, push that right there. I love how quick it is. It's low tech, but it works, and it's comfortable. I can't believe these couches are from 1999, and they're not like compressed or smushed or have some spots in them that are uncomfortable. So we'll just remove these upholstery, just replace it. And I think we're good to go. Like, we'll love this coach for many years to come. You know, a lot of these come with a couch and 2 recliners or 1 recliner and a big workstation. And since we have Starlink on this now and we want to work on the road, we thought it's a really unique booth, actually. Not a lot look like this. Normally it's a J booth or a booth where both are looking at each other, or it's a table and 2 chairs, but we can literally sit here, do ukulele lessons like I've been learning. Amy already knows how, but this table will swivel. It'll turn all the way around. I can move it, adjust it out, and it's just a nice place to be able to take Zoom calls and meetings on the road. The hot water turns on like that. The microwave is also a convection oven, and it's an air fryer, which is just really nice to have. You have your cooktop, your stovetop here. Most RVs, you know, they have a small refrigerator or one that doesn't have the power capacity to keep things cold and have a full, a full refrigerator. Like, I mean, we can go to Whole Foods or we can go to H-E-B and we can get everything we want and have everything for our salad, our produce. It's just pretty nice. A freezer, of course, down here. We have the freezer. We only have ice cream and corn dogs in there right now. I'm telling them myself. As I come through the pantry, both of them are pretty big. It just feels like everything keeps going with the pantry. But it's really nice to have, you know, for snacks on the road and enjoyment, and really, honestly, to eat like we would at home on the road, which is important for me and performance, or just that mental focus as a keynote speaker, wherever we're going, to be able to cook our own meals, breakfast, and not being just only eating airport food or hotel food, but to really be able to eat the meals we like. And one thing I love about this is that it's from 1999, so it's not all digital. It's analog in many ways, like actual buttons that you push. And so this, I've had to take a lot of learning lessons. I have a cheat sheet. I also have Jim, who I call, and he knows all about this. He was basically the lead engineer, electrical engineer on this bus whenever they built it. And so this is my trace inverters. I have 2 inverters, and then it shows me everything going on with the generator, the batteries, where they actually are. I can control my tanks here, my shades, my freshwater fill, and my generator boost, water pump, galley pocket doors, my diesel heat hot water. That's my Aqua Hot that makes it fast hot water. Engine block heater for when it's cold, making sure that everything's gonna fire right up when I'm in there. But basically, this is my breaker, and I can control the refrigerator, the cooktop, the microwave, like lighting, the fiber optics from here, and then everything in the storage bays, which are so important because that's where the water is held, the outlets function from, the entertainment center that's out there that we saw, the battery charger. So it's pretty neat that everything will charge as I'm driving the bus, but I also have the shore power, and then I have the batteries, and then I have the generator as well. So there are so many different ways to power this, keep it going, and make sure that it's not down on the side of the road somewhere, that I can get from event to event to event. So even while I'm in here, I can check all of the tanks, and I just turn that on. It shows me all the water levels, where things are. It takes a few minutes to show me where the fresh water is and the shower water, and when I'm needing to dump or fill back up, and things like that. There's so many mirrors in this, which actually, to me, make it feel like it's more open. But inside of this, I have the washer dryer, and it's one unit. And then I have a hamper that I can pull out. So that's kind of neat that I have all this with our, it feels like you're at home or you're at an apartment, and you're able to, if you want to wear something 2 days in a row, no problem. And obviously we have another closet here, and as I show it, we've got a sombrero, we've got a jacket, and it's pretty nice to just be able to have extra storage, put our clothes away, like the things we need to hang, we can. The shower is actually much bigger than it looks. I'm a big dude, and I can totally just get inside of here, stretch out, and really, I've got plenty of space in this thing. It's a residential grade shower head. This thing just has a water flow and pressure that is, it doesn't feel like an RV, or it feels like a normal residential shower, which is pretty amazing to me. And I can get that hot, stay that hot, have that much water pressure, and then you just have to be mindful about how much water you're using. But this thing holds 185 gallons of fresh water, which is pretty epic. You can be a long time on that. One of the old school things they had here was they put these mirrors. We're playing around with what we can utilize this space for. Besides mirrors, there's mirrors everywhere. Maybe we could put together, peace, love, and rock and roll, or peace, love, and luck, or aloha. And so we're working on this, where we're going to put these little hooks that we can hang our towels on and just make it feel a little bit more like us as a married couple. Amy was an independent rock and roll artist before she was a 20-year Austin radio personality, and now have her podcast. So I think this looks a lot more like her than these kind of dated mirrors. So that's another update we're going to do. Also, these lights, we're going to change those out and just do something more up to date. Yeah. But I love these string lights, these LEDs that are all around here. There's one thing that's not working, and it's just because of the bulb is out, and it's the star lights. All of this has star lights throughout the coach. And so that's one of my next projects, is switching out that bulb. That I just have to get out some tools and put in a new LED bulb that will put stars all across the ceiling. Now we're in the bedroom. And, it's pretty awesome. One thing that Amy told me I must find, which isn't easy in an RV or motor coach, was a vanity. So a vanity that she could sit at, do her makeup, and really feel like she's got natural light and good lighting in it, so she can get ready for the different events that we go to. This has it. The vanity seat also doubles as our dog's bed or dog's cave. So the dog will sleep right inside of her stool underneath it and have plenty of room. We got a little dog, little cute Havanese poodle. So we're pretty well lit right now, but maybe in a little bit we'll be able to show whenever this is all lit up. This eagle will turn multiple colors because it's got this, this old school fiber optics that it's etched into, but it has light that flows through all the different etchings. Just kind of cool that the eagle is there. The sheagle! This is Amy's vanity, so she can get ready in the morning or before events. And she's got lots of different storage, which I think is pretty cool. This was something so important for her to have. We have this little TV, which we're gonna upgrade. It literally still has direct TV. It has Blu-ray and DVD player. And what's really nice though, is it's got surround sound. Here, here, here. I think there's a fourth spot. And underneath the bed has this big Bose bass. And so what we can do is put a TV either across the window over here, because we have an emergency window over on this side too, or we can put a projector inside of one of these spots, change out the screen that drops down the shade to a flat one. And if we have that, then we can actually have full screen. Just, I mean, I think that's probably 80, 90 inches, maybe 100. One thing we'll change are these valances. Again, they're old and ruffled, but they still held up great. We're just going to change it to something more updated, maybe something not as, I don't know how to say it, but looks like it's in a political building. We'll change that. So back here we have 7 of these big deep drawers that hold our socks and clothes. But I thought that was the end of it because we have the closet there. But actually this whole wall back here is closet space, which is real nice to have. It goes all the way across over there. So this is my side, that's Amy's side. She's got her side above the bed. I got my side above the bed. So besides wanting to change these valances for a more updated look, it's pretty cool being back here, hanging out, getting rest, connecting with one another. And really, like, if we're going and seeing a beautiful part of the country, like recently I spoke in Orlando, we stopped in New Orleans, we parked in the French Quarter. Right outside this window was downtown New Orleans. Behind us, we could see some of that old school, kind of cool cemeteries that have the big, I don't know if you call them crypts or tombs, but the ones that are raised above the ground. And if we're at a national park or something like that, we want to see this view. And then going in and out of events, what's neat about having this closet, our drawers, is just the peace of mind of not having to pack, unpack. In October of last year, I spoke in Florida, I think 7 times, or I was in the state of Florida 7 times, 6 speaking events. And that's 14, 15, 16 times or more of having to pack and unpack each time I go to get on a plane, make a connection, get off at my destination. You know, that's a lot of time. So to be able to have our bus wardrobe and then being able to wash and dry whenever we want has been a pretty cool opportunity. Inside of this cabinet space, we literally have room for more than 8 towels that we already have in here, and hand towels, and all the toilet paper that's in there. There's storage for days in this beast. We also have what I love. I mean, if you have watched the RV world, I love them all. Like, it's for your purpose, what you're going to be using it for, how long you're going to be doing it. If you're going out to campgrounds and just completely boondocking, but seeing a lot of times people having a shower on top of their kind of RV style toilet. This is a residential toilet on it, and I don't have to shower on top of it. We even have space for a squatty potty. Like, we have a squatty potty. And you can see my bus slippers now that I change into when I come on the bus. But being able to have all that room to really, I mean, when are we going to need to use all 8 towels without washing and drying them first on a trip? And then just having the space that's in here has been pretty neat. So behind this bay is a 185-gallon tank for fresh water. And this is the water bay, one of the most important things on the bus. And I love it. It's old school, cool. And whenever we get down here, one thing that's new that I found as a problem, like it's going to be a challenge. So it's a 1999 coach, 27 years old, and the water bay is one of the most important things here. 185 gallons of fresh water, and this is going to be a problem. So this pump, I think, is near original, so it could be 27 years old. You see the corrosion here. Well, recently, having the water pump on, I found that there's a leak. I don't know if you can see the wetness on my finger and the dirt, but right down here, it's still dripping, and it's coming out of this water bay, which is completely fine. It's built for that. Water can just pour in here and pour out, but I'm gonna have to find the original pump and see if they still make it today. It's called a Walrus. I gotta find if this company is still in existence, but also if I modernize it to a new pump. These are pumps that are used in water wells, very similar to the ones we use in Africa, in Uganda and Congo, where we've drilled over 108 water wells, 200 plus water projects, providing water to more than 100,000 people. But this right here, if I could find something near exact, I don't have to change all the fittings, the PVC. I'll probably have an expert come help me just to make sure I do it right, because this has been a big investment. But I got to make sure where it's the corrosion is, and it feels like, I mean, I can maybe tighten a few bolts, but the thing is, if I tighten it too much, I can actually make it more of a problem than just a minor leak. So we're going to have to do some digging and find out what's going on in this bay. So this is the power bay, also incredibly crucial and vital. We, of course, can power it while we go down the road with the engine, but these are the 8 house batteries. Luckily, they were replaced in 2024, so they still have a few years of life on them. We have our 2 trace inverters, and basically this powers the entire house side of the battery. Not necessarily the chassis, although I can actually jumpstart the engine batteries from these house batteries, which is pretty cool. If those ever go out, which actually I replaced them because there was some corrosion there, like on this water pump, but in the batteries. So we have brand new batteries in the engine bay, and we have 8 fairly new batteries for the house. And so it's just pretty cool that if I need to jumpstart, I don't have to ask anybody to come help or get a trucker or a trucking service out. I can jumpstart this whole thing off the house batteries because there's 8 of them. And so that's pretty neat. So this is just a storage bay, but it's an important part of the vehicle. I have my fresh water hoses here anytime I need to put fresh water on. And what I love is actually it's a manual slide out. The automated ones are cool, but when you need to just get in and out, having it manually there, you don't have to wait and push a button. Also, I have some heaters. The reason I have heaters is because we just had that massive freeze. Well, I put that in the water bay just to make sure none of the pipes were freezing, although it already has a heater in there. It was just some other support. But I also have my tools that I can use at any time. Just anything. I don't need to go to the home improvement store. Here's another storage bay where we have some drawers. But what's important for me is if I'm going into an event or just having some chairs, having an extra shore power cord. I have one that automatically rolls in, rolls out of the bus from the water bay, but an extra 50 and 100 foot extension cord. Also, having these is just nice just to be able to put at the back and the front. That way, it's just safety, just being safe and letting people know, hey, there's a big thing here, watch out. Taking care of them, taking care of the bus. And this one is the only pull through or slide through that goes out both sides of the bus. So I have access to it here, and I have another couple of those orange cones, safety cones on the other side as well. All right, so we're in the cockpit, and this was the part that was probably most intimidating for me. There's literally the parking brake's on, but there are 23 different buttons or sensors up here. There's 10 gauges underneath here. There's a whole bunch of buttons. So literally we have the generator running, but I hit preheat beforehand, hold it for 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds, then I hit generator start. Shows you that it's running. There's the entry lights that I can turn on and off here. There is the bay lights defeat, so I can turn that off. There's a gray water bypass on this, and I'm careful to use this. Only used it once, and it's whenever I'm on this kind of grate or really a drain that's in a big parking lot like we're in now, because really it's just sink water and I can dump it right there. Obviously, the best place to do that is at a RV campsite or like a Love's Travel Center where you can put your gray water right into a pit. There's the air compressor I can do. There's all the ACs that are for the front, the back, the middle of the coach. It shows my water temperature, my fuel. We're at just under half a tank. What's nuts is I think I have 225 gallons on this that I can put in. That's something like $700, but it gets me halfway across the country. It is 1,500 miles on a tank of gas. 1,500 miles on a tank of gas, which is pretty nuts. My mom gave me a present. I had this installed. It's a Garmin that's specific for trucks and for RVs. I get to put in my location, but also my height, my weight, my length, and it makes sure I don't go on any too tight of roads or under a bridge that's going to, shave my hair or make this thing a convertible. And yeah, it's been really neat to get to learn this process. It takes more planning. And yeah, I have this old school USB system that I can use my Bluetooth, but I can also take calls. There's a microphone right here. And it's just been really fun to learn. I mean, honestly, I'm so glad, so glad that I took like a 4-day, 5-day bus orientation with the dude Jim that helped build this bus. We were going in and out of parking lots, campgrounds, on the road from Orlando to Daytona, with him coaching me stopping him, getting in the driver's seat, showing me how to do these turns. The turns are weird, but luckily, I think from my fighting background, angles and kind of range, whether it's fighting or wrestling or jiu-jitsu, I think has helped me be a bus driver, because the wheels are not up front. They're not in front of you. The wheels are actually underneath you or slightly behind you. So you actually have to come out ahead of, on top of where you think you should be turning. You need to go a little further because you're actually turning from behind you, not the wheels in front of you or wheels underneath you. They're actually right behind and underneath the couches that are behind me. So it's pretty wild to get a hang of that. But once you do, it's super fun to drive because it's unlike anything else. Just another cool thing is the stepwell lights. How old school, cool. That's definitely 1999, 27 years ago. But in the stepwell, of course, I have my slippers. I can change from slippers to shoes. Amy's able to sit here. I'm a big dude. She's like half my size. So our dog fits here with her. This kicks back, it reclines, and there's a step well, an air slide that brings a floor out underneath her so her feet aren't dangling above the stairs, where she can put her feet up and just relax on the road, take her calls, upload her podcast, do something for her radio ads, just while we're kicking back and just getting up early, cruising. And it's really just this meditative state while you're driving, you're measuring, you're thinking, not thinking. And so it's a pretty cool meditative thing. And this steering wheel is just smooth. I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, and doggone it, people like me. If you would like to subscribe, we would absolutely, honestly, just be overjoyed and thrilled for you to join us on this journey. It's going to be road trips and the bus life and speaker lifestyle and ins and outs and inspirational insights all along the way. So yeah, please leave us a comment. Let us know what you would like to see more of. Like it, subscribe. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're just going to try to do this in a cool way that serves you, that's entertaining and inspirational and knowledgeable about the bus and everything I'm learning along the way. Thanks so much. Okay, we'll do it again. And God, the Sheagle!